Well, for me, when you talk about MMA, mixed martial arts, all right? I did an article a long time ago where I said the way some people look at it, they just should call it mixed fighting. Take the martial arts out if you just don't want to think about that. But what does martial arts bring you? For me, it's about overall development as a person, right? Your physical, mental, emotional, and using martial arts as a vehicle. And I just don't think about the martial arts as those used in mixed martial arts. I use Filipino martial arts, I use Chinese martial arts, I use Indonesian martial arts, Brazilian martial arts, Japanese. It doesn't matter to me. If it fits in with an ability to fight better, to defend yourself better, you like doing it, you enjoy it, and you become more of a complete person, I'm all for it.
So you've coached a few world champions in the UFC. Is there a relationship between your studies in, let's say, Filipino or Indonesian martial arts with that championship? If any, is there any connection?
Yeah, for sure there is a connection, because for me it's about training method. And I can take a training method from Filipino martial arts and utilize it in development of a mixed martial arts fighter, even though they will never even think that this, what is this that we're doing? Don't worry about it. It's martial arts. All right? I don't have to explain what it is. And so there's a lot of drills I use from Panatukan. There's a lot of drills that we even have guys, knife spar, and we instead of like using a knife, we're actually just trying, okay, all I want you is touch. But it's the same thing. It's knife sparring. With Silat, you're looking at things like just off balancing. When you're talking about the cage, what's the difference between a cage and a wall? All right? So it's like, how are we going to fight off this? It's not like wrestling, because it's an entirely different balance connection there. And so you have to be creative. You got to start thinking outside the box. And therefore, that's where the Filipino martial arts, I think, really excel, because it's all about thinking outside the box.
Are you the only one in your circle that has this opinion?
I don't think so. I think there's others for sure. I mean, a lot of the guys that are really good coaches come from Guru Dayananda Santo's line. I mean, we're talking, you go to Ray Longo, he's done JKD and Filipino martial arts. You go to, even Greg Jackson, he's always expanding and always looking for different ways to do things, and has worked with military as well. So basically, I think those people that are coaching to the highest levels are looking at all different areas to develop their fighters.
Yeah, but if I go online and I read the commentary, it seems like there's such a huge division between athletic performance in combat sports and traditional martial arts. Why?
Well, I think in a nutshell, obviously combat sports, everybody sees it. Everybody sees them fighting, everybody sees what's going on, and so they relate fighting to that. But on the other end, traditional martial arts, they're thinking about what? Usually karate, really traditional point fighting type stuff. If you go to the average person, even the average mixed martial arts fan, and say, oh, Eskrima, Arnis, Filipino Kali, Silat, they look at you like, what are you talking about? They have no clue what that stuff is, because they're focused on, it's boxing and wrestling and Muay Thai, and even Muay Thai, just say Thai boxing, because they might not even know what that is, because a lot of it is just about, they just see fighting. They don't see really what makes up a great fighter and how diverse they really are.
What advice do you have for those kinds of coaches, for those kinds of people?
Well, my thing is you got to look outside the box all the time, because as I look at it, fighting can't be put in this nice little neat package. It's too chaotic, it's too crazy, too many things are happening. And then you look at people like Lyoto Machida, traditional karate guy, and whooped up. And what he did, I got to get better at defending takedowns. So he went and worked with really high-level wrestlers and became great at defending takedowns. And then what happened? For a time span there, he had the highest takedown percentage, because he was hooking in his foot sweeps from Shotokan's traditional martial arts, and his ability to back up and draw them in, and for that one shot, one kill, worked like a charm. So he was looking outside the box and bringing in wrestling, but he was a traditional martial artist.